CJ's Resolution is an annual charity run held in North Central Pennsylvania. In 2017, it was held in Mifflinburg in January. These dedicated runners ran in sub-zero temperature, and we talked to them about why they ran.
Started CJ's Resolution Challenge because my son was diagnosed with autism right around his 4th birthday. And I guess I just saw a need that maybe I could help fill by maybe spreading some more awareness and raising some money for local organizations.
Okay, and what personally, what do you want people who sees this video want people to know about CJ?
Well, CJ, that's Cullen, that's my son. He's a pretty awesome little kiddo. I guess I want people to know mostly that even though he's a little different, he's still kind of like everyone else, and I just want him to be included and considered. I want people to attempt to actively include him in things, to actively reach out, to at least ask him and, include him.
Did you choose to participate in CJ's Resolution of all the charities in the area?
Mostly because it's a great event to attend. It's a lot of fun. I did it last year, my first time, and this year it presented a new challenge with the temperatures being what they were, and I just wanted to see if I could do it.
Okay. How did you hear about CJ's?
I originally heard about CJ's from Janelle. She had chosen Aiders to be a beneficiary and told me about the event, and from then on I was all in.
Okay. Since you're a beneficiary for this run, what do you plan on doing with the monies donated to you from the challenge?
Last year, we have our large meeting room space, but it had a teeny tiny bathroom that I could barely fit in. So we used the money from last year to build a fully accessible bathroom in our large meeting space, which has opened up the room to anybody who wants to come in and do some community events with us or participate in services. This year, we are going to be putting some money towards updating our kitchen, putting in some more storage there so that we can teach some life skills, teach some cooking skills. And then one of the other big things that we're excited to offer is we are going to be training emergency personnel, first responders, in what it's like to work with people with autism, how they may respond to things like a loud siren or bright lights, and how to safely identify and then handle somebody, a situation with autism. And we're able to provide that to the community for free with some of this funding. So that's a big accomplishment and a huge impact for our communities.
First, tell me what ADMI is.
I can, yeah. I'm the program manager at ADMI, which stands for Autism and Developmental Medicine Institute. So we're a department at Geisinger Health System. And primarily we provide diagnostic services for kids with all sorts of different kinds of developmental delay, autism, intellectual disability, genetic conditions, etc.
Can you go into more detail?
Sure. We also have researchers on staff, so let me say that too. We have a multidisciplinary clinic with providers from all sorts of different kinds of specialties. And in addition, we have folks on staff doing research to try to understand the cause behind developmental disabilities, including autism. We have a focused commitment to community and to education as well, so those are kind of our 4 pillars: clinical care, research, education, and community outreach and family support.
Okay, and what do you plan on doing with the monies donated to you from the challenge?
That's a good question. We always try to direct them toward things that are going to directly impact our families. So in the past, we have done a couple of different things. We have some really neat murals in some of our research testing rooms, which just make the space a little more comfortable for our patients and the folks who come in for research. They're really cool. I wish I had a picture to show you. We also direct the money toward our specialty clinics. Sometimes we have families come from really far away to ADMI and they spend the whole day there, so we'll often have lunch for those families. It gives them all a chance to interact and get to know each other. So those are two examples of how we've used the money in the past. And we have a couple of ideas that we'd like to talk to Janelle, the race director, about in terms of how we'll spend this year's.
Like what? Can you tell us?
Yeah, sure. So a couple different ideas. We have a program called ADMI Approved, which essentially tries to help families find treatments and therapies and approaches that are evidence-based. Because there's so many things out there, it can make things really difficult for families to navigate. So we have a small collection of resources at the public library in Union County that we've donated, and families can come and borrow those resources that our team of specialists have said, yes, these are evidence-based, we believe in these therapies or treatments. So I'd love to expand that program throughout the region. So that's one idea.
Why did you choose to participate in CJ's resolution?
Well, I've done it all 5 years. The first year I decided to do it because my brother heard about it and I have a child on the spectrum.
Yeah. Landon.
Landon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he hear about CJ's personally, your brother?
He was a coach over at Bucknell University and he was a cross-country coach. So those types of events get around to the runners in the community.
Yeah.
So.
Do you consider yourself an extreme runner?
Not really, but I'm trying to be. Trying to be.
Yeah. So you classify yourself as an athlete.
I do, yeah. I would say that.
So how did you handle the training for CJ's resolution?
I have to confess that I've never actually raced during the CJ's. I haven't even done a single lap of CJ's. I find myself stuck at the start-finish line area doing race director things. So I marked the course the day before, and that's as much as I've done of the race.
But do you consider yourself a runner?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it harder physically or mentally? Is it harder physically or mentally to train for these type of events while taking care of your son who's autistic?
It's harder mentally because there's a lot of guilt that comes into play when you're spending time doing things like training versus being at home, helping with homework and dinners and then that kind of thing. So it's more mental.
Okay, you said this was your second year, so how did you handle the training for CJ's resolution?
I did a lot better this year than I did last year. Last year I didn't really do any training. This year I did some light jogging, I ran some hills around my house, and I did some aerobic exercise, and this year I went more laps than I did last year, so it worked.
What made you do the challenge in sub-zero temperature?
Knowing that I already spent the money to sign up, so I figured I might as well get the full experience. That and I was volunteering to help out with registration.
Okay. Did any of your family participate in the run?
Yeah, my wife came along and we did all 8 miles together.
How did you guys do? Did you go all the way, or did you really struggle with the temperature?
We took it easy. We figured, we're not professional athletes. We didn't want to injure ourselves, so there were points where we took it easy. And actually, our last lap, it was beautiful out there. We walked it and just enjoyed the scenery.
What's on CJ's resolution challenge as a whole?
Oh, other than it being cold, it was a fantastic experience. It's something that a lot of people would complete and then be surprised at themselves at what they're able to do when they put themselves out there. And I think it's awesome that that kind of opportunity exists for anybody, and that it benefits great causes. Not only Aiders, but ADMI, local school districts. They've donated to several places in the area.
And did you become a beneficiary to CJ's?
Janelle graciously contacted me and offered. She said that she heard about us through some other professionals in the field, and she was interested in learning more about Aiders. So she came down, and I showed her our office space and talked to her about what we do and shared some of our goals. And she said, that fits perfectly with the mission of CJ's. So we've been very fortunate that we made it.
Okay, so you've been doing this for 5 years. What made you do the challenge in sub-zero temperature?
That's kind of adds to the excitement, I think. It adds to the challenge and makes you feel pretty tough.
I personally couldn't do it. Do you consider yourself as an extreme runner?
I think so. I've done a couple marathons and half marathons, and so I like to think it's a big part of my life.
Okay. Did any of your family participate in a run?
Every year, my brother's done it except one. This year, my husband did it, and then my daughter did it with us. She's 6, so she only did a couple of them. But my 2 nieces did it last year, so they like to help and support.
So did she like to see your daughter, Reagan? How did she enjoy the run in itself?
She's only 6, so after a lap or 2, I had to start bribing her with things to keep going. But she enjoyed it when she was all said and done. She liked to do it for her big brother. So.
That's very nice. How did you and your family do as a whole do at the run?
I know Justin was pretty satisfied, and Kip, I think, my brother, he got first in his event, and Reagan, she ended up running, it was like 6 miles for a 6-year-old, so
that's very
good.
CJ's resolution has been going on for 5 years. How has it grown throughout the years?
Well, when we first started, we had 70-some runners, so it was pretty small. And this year we had 160. And there was a lot of no-shows because of the intense cold, so it would have been bigger this year. So the numbers have grown. The donation dollars have been pretty steady, so I'm pleased with that. But I think it's become more widely known throughout the region, so that's exciting. It's neat to see chatter on social media, Instagram and Facebook, about the race from people I have no idea who they are, so it's neat that word's spreading.
What do you hope to raise awareness for autism?
So we talk a lot about autism awareness, and I don't think most people really know what that means, kind of as a vague statement. So I hope that when people find out that somebody's autistic or somebody that's different than them, that they would actively offer acceptance and actively show kindness, because who cares if you're aware if you're not doing anything about it, right?
Yeah. How has your life changed since CJ has been diagnosed with autism?
So day to day, there's a lot of things. I guess in how I act with everybody because of him. How I speak to people is different. When I meet somebody, I'm not quick to make judgments for sure. I'm really more thoughtful. But in our home, things are a lot more different, I think, than other people's homes. We have therapy and that kind of thing. Dry erase boards and award system, crazy stuff. Just different. It's not typical.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah.